Hello everyone, and welcome back to Technically Unsure, where I'm not really sure what I'm doing technically.
How you doing?
Today, I am super excited to show you something that might just blow your socks off, assuming you're just wearing one. As you might have guessed, obviously, from the video thumbnail or the title or the description, I am talking about ROS data server from Mikrotik. So specifically, I'm talking about the mighty RDS2216, however you want to read it. Before we dive in, let's get on the same page about the Mikrotik. They are a Latvian company. That's right, home of great architecture, LIGO, scenic views, and apparently very powerful network equipment somehow. So Mikrotik focuses on all sorts of like network gear, routers, switches, access points, and these things usually almost all of it runs their own operating system, which is called Router OS. And there is a client application which you run to manage and control and configure them. Very fancy stuff. They are mostly business favorite, but they also cater to home users, especially the type of home users like that cousin that likes to run a data center in the garage for fun.
A hacker.
You know, power home users absolutely love Mikrotik. So that being said, now you know about Mikrotik. These guys kind of partnered up, I guess, or I don't know if they're working together, but they got an Amazon ARM chip. And their mad scientists decided to let's make an insanely powerful data server and keep the price fair and make it low power consuming, very powerful server that's going to be like for routing and switching and also for running containers and being a data server. Basically, you can run it in NAS or anything you want on it. Crazy. I just heard about it immediately. I reached out to them and I said, guys, I'm buying, or you just send me one, I don't care. So they were kind enough, they just sent me one. And this is a $1,950 server, just to be clear, but once you see the power and what you can do with it, you will understand how cheap that is, especially how low its power consumption is and how many things you can get rid of in your home, server and home lab, whatever, or your business. If you're running a business, if you want to replace, you can replace multiple things with this bad boy. I'm practically bouncing off the walls to get my hands on this thing. I just want to get it, moving and tell you about it so I can start unboxing it. I haven't touched it. Literally an hour ago it arrived, okay? So I've been just getting ready to start recording. And yeah, just to let you know, on the beastly specs of this bad boy, there are like two sides. Just remember, one side is the storage side, the other is the networking side. So on the storage side, you get 20 U.2 NVMe slots, okay? And apparently, I think from somewhere I read it, it's PCIe Gen 3. Doesn't matter, still very fast. And 20 of those bad boys you can put it. That's like more storage than your extended family's photos combined. And my family takes a lot of selfies, so yeah, it will cover everything. It's gonna, you can't fill it up. And on the networking side, you will have, yes, get ready. When I was reading it, it blew my mind. Just let me tell you, you get 200G QSFP28 ports. 100G, yeah, you can probably host half the internet on that, but yeah, 200G QSFP28 ports, 4 25G 25 gigabit SFP28 ports, yep, and 4 10 gigabit SFP plus ports and 2 10 gigabit Ethernet ports. Crazy. And this is all in one server, 1,950. This one very green server, literally green, and also very green in terms of how low power consuming it is, okay? Also, additionally, you have an SFF8644 interface, you know, basically say hello to SAS, mini SAS, SATA, all that stuff, okay? And the CPU is AL73400, so 73400, however you read it. It's famously known as AWS Graviton 1 processor. It's an ARM v8, 16 cores, 2 gigahertz processor. You can basically brag to your friends and family that you're running cloud level hardware in your living room. So keep that in mind. And then in terms of RAM, it comes with 32 gigabyte DDR4 RAM. And storage built in, there's a 128 megabyte NAND, which is for the OS. So that's not for you, but just throw. And as I said before, anything almost, as far as I know, correct me if I'm wrong, anything I've seen from Mikrotik runs their OS, Raveler OS. So if there are some things from Mikrotik that doesn't run it, down below, teach me. And yeah, let's keep going. There is also hardware acceleration for IPsec. That means super fast remote connections, okay? Just keep that in mind. Also, Mikrotik claims 200,000 hours of MTBF, which MTBF stands for mean time between failures. So it's basically, you know, statistical measure manufacturers use to indicate, you know, how reliable a device is over time. Essentially, what MTBF means is average time between one failure and the next. So 200 hours is 22 years, basically, without failing. And I don't think my microwave can run that long, but just so you know, that's the claim, that's what they're saying. And knowing the Mikrotik and the company, I am leaning towards believing them. So we'll see. And obviously I'm not gonna test it for 22 years, but yeah, you know, we'll see how it is. So also this I/O wise, I think I saw it on the specs. There is like 2 USB ports, I think. One is USB 3.0 Type A, one is USB 2.0 Type A. And the switching chip that's in there is 98DX4310, which is designed by Marvel. And apparently it can handle metric ton of traffic. It just specs, I was looking at it, the number of ports it can handle, crazy numbers. And you see the ports that this bad boy got. So yeah. All right, too much talking, too much mumbo jumbo. I can't wait. I just want to open this thing up. Let me grab it. Alrighty, this is literally how it arrived, except that I removed the labels so you don't find my home address and start shipping me some things, you know, that I don't want. All right, so let me grab a knife and start from this side. All right, basically there was a box inside the box, okay? And I want to open this part properly. So it seems like we have to open it this way. Okay. Okay. There you have this beautiful green, literally the color. And in terms of how low power consuming it is. So if you want to save polar bears, get this. Okay. So wow, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Okay, there are a bunch of accessories. We're gonna go over it. Don't worry about it. I'm just taking things out. All right. And also for all that horsepower, I'm going to say it's not that heavy. You know, I was expecting it to be a little bit more heavier, but it's not. All right. I mean, look at this beautiful, beautiful server. So I don't even know where to start, but just the finish on this thing, I mean, seriously, look at it. I hope the color comes through the camera properly. So I am already impressed just by reading the specs and looking at it. I'm already impressed. Okay, let's go through the back first. Okay, so here we are. We have redundant power, obviously, as you can see, 2 redundant powers, okay? And then we are going to take a look at the I/O over here. So what we have is the 2 10G RJ45 basic, you know, cable Ethernet connection. To the 4 25G SFP28 ports are right here. 100G QSFP28 2 ports are right over here. And the SFP 10G, these are 10G, 4 10G SFP ports are over here. And this is for console and this is for management. And the USB 3 port, 3.0 port that I was talking about is right over here. And SFF8644 that I was talking about is right over here. So you take that out so you can see it. Yeah, you see that? I have actually a couple of things that I can plug into it. I believe even I have a tape, you know, reader thing for tape discs that uses the Sport SFF8644. All right, now let's look at the other side. The beautiful side, which you are going to face, is this part, which is, as I said, 20 basically U.2 NVMe slots. So I'm gonna just take one out so you can see it. That's it. Okay, so you can put one in there and push that in there and get plenty of storage. So I know I can just turn it on now, but that's not how I do business. So I am going to actually open this up so we can see what's inside first. Then we are going to turn it on. Okay, so on that note, I want to basically very quickly introduce you guys to this bad boy. I just received it literally, I think 2 days ago. Fantic sent it to me. It's Fantic E1 Max. Okay, this bad boy, it's NEX Max, and it comes with 50 bits, all magnetic. And you know, I always lose my bits, so it's good that it's all magnetic and sticks around. And it's electric, boasting 0.2 Newton meter torque, and in high mode. In low mode, it's 0.05 Newton meter in low mode. So let's be honest, if we are going to unscrew this beautiful server, let's do it in style, okay? The motor speed of this bad boy is apparently, that's the USB cable, is apparently 200 RPM. So that's faster than a hamster wheel in an overdrive, okay? So let's take that out and let's put that aside. So apparently you just push and yeah, the screwdriver comes out and all the beautiful bits right there, okay? And yeah, here, oh, all right. So there are a lot of screws and my hand hurts. So just by looking at it, so I'm gonna use this bad boy to open it up. And from what I see, these are all Phillips. So I am going to use try at least. Let me see if this one matches. Oh man, first try. What can I do? I'm just good. So let's put this in there. Let's put that aside. Okay, so you see, I like that. I like that. Okay, all right, so let's see, how does it do? Oh, maybe it wasn't the right one, so I'm not that good at after all. Okay, I need the one that's a bit wider. I took that from here. Let's try this one. It's a bit wider one. Let's see. There you go. Okay, finally. All right, so first of all, what I'm opening, yeah, I want to open this part. So I don't know, there is no video or any documentation, so I'm assuming I have to take all these out to open it. So no choice but just to do it. And then yeah, while there you go, this is beautiful, I like it. Okay, and it's actually very you know, the screws are tightened in there, and yeah, I'm impressed. It's opening it first shot. Okay, so while I'm opening this bad boy, I'm going to go on a rant. So I've been ranting about this for a very long time, maybe for 10 years maybe. So as you might know, if you are watching my channel, you know that I'm in cybersecurity, right? I just see that everyone is just going towards cloud. The sad thing is, even cybersecurity products, oh my God, the worst ones are the ones that are cloud only. I get it, you have some clients that like cloud, which I don't get it, but yes, there are some. So if you have that, at least offer self-hosted one, man. What are you doing? So they offer only cloud and it's cybersecurity product. I really don't get it. I don't get it at all. I mean, people are writing reports, writing documents, taking photos, writing personal notes and syncing it everything on the cloud. And I don't know why and how they feel that comfortable. People think, you know, cloud is some sort of a secure private island belong to them and nobody can see what's happening in there. No, it's not. So you can see the behind of it as well, just in case. So yeah, I don't know. I personally love this, okay? I run pretty much everything in my whole house in my servers, you know. I don't use any cloud providers for anything. I don't sync up my files. Google, I take photos, it keeps telling me, so you want to sync? I said, no, I don't want to sync anything. Please stop asking. So, you know, if you like the convenience, I get it. I'm techie, you know, maybe not everybody's techie and then interested in doing things like this and setting servers for themselves, but you're watching this channel, so you are. So what I would say is I would recommend running and hosting everything yourself. You want something like Google Photos and Google Cloud, get, I don't know, Nextcloud. Just install Nextcloud. You will see how many things that are out there for cloud that you can replace it with your self-hosted Nextcloud, open source. You can get, you know, Photo Prism for your photos. You can get Image for your photos. You can get Matrix if you want to run Slack or Discord or whatever in your own servers. It's just, you know, it's your data. I don't even use social media. I have this YouTube channel and a LinkedIn account. That's it. So I really like to have my own data to myself, not even anyone else seeing it. My family, same thing, all their phones syncing up with my NAS. That's right here in my servers. This bad boy is going to be a great addition to that. So I just wanted to rant about it. So this thing you can run, as I said, and you saw the networking side, right? You saw what it can do inside of networking, right? So this is a networking router for your whole house. You can run half the internet on this thing. On top of that, you can run a lot of virtual machines and containers. So you can run a lot of things on the server. Maybe they have something built into the router OS, because I know this is not a regular router OS. This is a router OS specific to data center, this type of servers, okay? So this one comes with even ButterFS. And I see some people say, what is ButterFS? I don't know. The BTRFS I used to say, but I learned that people are saying ButterFS or B3FS, which is the most correct one, I think. And then there is BetterFS. But anyway, this comes with that, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to go with ButterFS, and it supports enterprise features that you can run in your home or in your business. I keep saying home, but you know, you can do the same thing in the business. So you can run, basically, it supports snapshots, and you can create and move around sub-volumes of the ButterFS. You can create RAID, you can create iSCSI, you can do NVMe over TCP. Let's say you have a bunch of devices, you know, you can share the drives, all these drives that are in there to that device. Crazy things you can do with this. It's very powerful, and the best part is very low power consuming. Did you just see that as I was ranting and just talking and talking? You see that? This is 550 watts. Remember, it's not combined, it's redundant, okay? So this whole thing is running off that. You see what I'm talking about? And now I'm gonna see how powerful that is. Now I'm scared of taking this apart. Should I take that apart? I don't know. There is an M.2. By the way, I just noticed that. I don't think it was on the specs. There is M.2 SATA 1, M.2 SATA 2. Do you see it on the camera? I hope so. So this is, I don't want to pull a Linus and drop this thing.
Core i9 10900.
Oh! But you see that. You see, this is a one M.2 and another M.2 slot right over there. I'm assuming there is a beast of a CPU, ARM CPU right underneath this. And I'm assuming this is the controller for the networking stuff. These are all just guesses. There are no labels. At least if it is, it's under the giant heatsink. So I'm just guessing these things. And yeah, these are all fans, and you can see here all these fans. So if you want me to count it, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 over here, and 2 550 watts redundant power over there, and the ports and everything else. That's it. Just beautiful. 550 watts. Oh my god, this is, I'm blown away already, and I haven't even turned this thing on. Okay, so I hope you guys are satisfied with this much so far. I don't want to go any deeper yet, at least. And if I turn it on this way, I think it's gonna be loud. I don't know. So I'm going to put this cover on, not gonna, you know, seal it, and I'm gonna put the screws back on. Although with my bad boy Mikrotik E1, it's easy, but yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna hold it this way. Oh, I'm so excited. I keep forgetting what to do. I wanted to show you guys what comes as an accessory. So here, let's open it up. So these are the rack mount stuff. So you attach to these sides, okay? and then mount it to rack. So these are for the rack, and these are tray stickers. I love it, I love it. So yeah, you have the disc in here, so you got 20, and you can label them. So when one fails or you want to use it for specific container or something, you can label them and see it there. So these are for mounting. I'm not gonna touch that yet, I have to see. And it comes with 2 safety regulatory information for ROS data server, RDS2216, okay? And then there is this, let's see what is in there. Okay, the power cord, and it's US. Thank you, Mikrotik. You guys are amazing. All right, and okay. All right, so we're gonna use this. It comes with rubber feet and a bunch of extra screws, just like me. If I'm, you know, if you put your screws like that and lose them, you get some extras over here. All right, give me some time. Give me some time. Let me plug this in, and there is no HDMI or anything like that, so it's going to be management console. So I need to bring a bunch of Ethernet because I have 25G in my home network. I don't know if, you know, I can. I'm thinking, should I have the server physically here while I'm showing you the software side, or yeah, let me figure it out. Either I put it over here and turn it on, or I move this to actual my rack and then turn it on and connect the 25G and the other ports and come back here, show you the software. Give me a couple of minutes, let me set things up, and we'll take it from there. I will be right back. All right, fellas. So I decided to go this way, and honestly, I want you all to hear and see everything. I know it's, you know, everything is everywhere, but bear with me. And I just put the keyboard on it. I just want to show you guys everything from you know, setup and you know, initial boot and everything. So what I did was I connected one cable to management port, and that goes directly to my computer that I'm recording from. And I connected for now just one 10 gigabit you know, Ethernet connection that goes straight to my internet router, whatever. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn on the jet engine. I know it's gonna be loud, but you know, it is what it is. Let's do it. Okay, 78 watts. Can you see it on the screen? Yeah. 83 watts, 84 watts. But this is initially just when the fans, oh wow, 95. Okay. Okay, so once the fans go down, it comes back to like 78 watts and so 80 watts and so on. Okay, so it's not that bad. So right now it's 80 watts. So what you have to do is you have to go to your Wi-Fi, I mean Ethernet settings, and set the IP address to 192.168.88.2, whatever. You just have to be on that range because the management console is 192.168.88.1. There you go. And default admin doesn't have any password, so you just have to log in and immediately it asks you to set a password. So we are going to set a password to be admin, and yeah, ignore that. All right, so we got that part down. And now it is asking us to do a very quick setup for, you know, internet and everything. So for the internet, I believe it's the ETH1. I can skip this part honestly, and let's just go straight to advanced. Yeah, in here in the interfaces, I can at least see which is which. So here you go. So apparently that's, I think, Ethernet 3. So okay, let's figure it out. I don't know. I'm gonna plug this out. Okay, so Ether 1 dropped. So this is management. So immediately rename that management so we don't get confused. Okay, so that's the management interface. And ETH1, I think, is going to be WAN. So I'm gonna plug that back in if I can. Okay, I'm gonna plug that back in, and there should be some connectivity. Yep, there you go. So we know Ether 1 is our WAN, going to be our WAN. We are going to go to our WAN. And by the way, this is the interface. So I didn't say anything in the beginning, but yeah, this is the admin interface. But what you can do is you can also, you know, use the Winbox and that's going to be this, and it will automatically find your device and you can log in. There you go. So you will be able to so you'll be able to get access to this interface through web app and even a terminal in web app or through the desktop app. Doesn't matter. Both are fancy, both are great. I am going to initially go with this. Later we will see what we can do for terminal and all this stuff. I will show you. So let's keep going. So we have to go to IP addresses. We only have the 192.168.80.81, so I have to define another one that's for WAN interface, and that's going to be 172.16.158, I believe I allocated to this. And yeah, that's 000. We don't need that, so okay, let's apply that. Okay, this is going to be internet, so we know what it is. Okay, just to keep that in mind. And what I have to do is I have to add a route so everything goes through that. So we just add a route 000. Gateway is that IP address that I just had, and apply. Okay, so now we should have internet. How to confirm? You just go to system, for instance. That's just my way of doing it. You can do whatever you want. And I just go here and check for updates. If it comes back with updates and it tells you there is an update or there's no more updates, you know internet is working. See, it doesn't work. So something is not right. Oh, I believe we didn't add the DNS. Yeah, there you go. So we have to add the DNS to be my DNS. That's right there in my NAS. So I think that was it. I believe this should be fine now. Let's go and check again the packages. And these are the ones that I installed, but let's see, check for updates. Let's see, there you go. Okay, so we know we have everything in place. And initially, you will have this list of applications that you can install. I already went ahead and installed the container and the storage and all that stuff. Another thing I want to show you is actually I plugged in a 2 terabyte super fast, hard disk drive, which I am initially going to use. And you can see that if you go to the system and disks, you will see that there you go, USB 1, J Micron Rocket. That's a very fast USB 3, storage, and you just click on it and format it basically. And it will mount in whatever mounting point it is there, which we are going to use. Okay, so keep that in mind. Just you select it and you can format it, and you have to select X for Linux stuff and container stuff. Okay, so that's also there. We got internet now, and I have access to admin panel. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna quickly show you guys the container setup, and I'm gonna just follow their guide. I'm not gonna invent the wheel. I'm just gonna follow their guide. It says first we have to create an interface, virtual interface for the Docker containers, which makes sense. So what I'm gonna do is actually I'm gonna use this, right? So let's go here and I'm gonna paste basically. I'm going to copy paste stuff right here. Okay, we are going to create a bridge, and we are going to assign an IP address to that bridge and the interface. Okay, paste. And then we are going to do associate the bridge port, and we are going to enable NAT so that our Dockers will have internet. If you don't add this, your Docker containers won't have internet. Okay, we added that as well. Now, what we can do is we can add these variables, and this example actually starts the Pi-hole, which actually makes a lot of sense. This is a gateway, so you better have a DNS server running on it, which is going to be Pi-hole, and it's going to do everything for you in terms of filtering ads and everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this and paste it in here, and just going to change that to my location. So it's going to be that. And yeah, leave everything else as is. I don't care about those. And I'm gonna paste that. So that's pretty much it. And I'm going to add the Docker registry, which is this, but I have to change the address. So my storage device is not disk 1, it's USB 1. So I'm gonna just change that for now. Okay, let's keep going. I added that. And here you go. It is pulling the Pi-hole from the Pi-hole registry. So we are going to do this. And what happened? Oh, sorry, there's the extra space. Okay. Okay, sorry. Extra space wasn't the issue. Issue was USB 1, and I'm not adding any mounting points. Not now. Okay, so just this. I just wanted to start. I don't care about those fancy stuff, but you can add a mount. Now, when you are here, you can just go to container, okay? And if you run PR, you will see that there is a Docker image right there, okay? And you can do it with command line, or you can go back to the admin panel, and if you go to containers, you are going to see your container right here, okay? And you can click on it and basically start it, and you will see it is running. Immediately, status turns into running. And if you go back here and do a PR, you will see that the status is actually running. So we got our first Docker image running, which is Alpine Linux, which is Pi-hole. So what I can do is I can say shell and say number 0. Yeah, you see this number right here in the beginning? That's the containers. Let's say you're running 10 containers. That's how it distinguishes them. And there you go. I have access to the Alpine Linux running in this bad boy. So what I can do is APK add stress ng. That's one of my favorite things to do with these computers. Okay, so keep an eye on the power consumption. It's 80 watts, okay? Let me type this long ass command. Oh, by the way, I have to check echo and proc. There you have it. 16 cores are right there. And you can see CPU utilization right here. Right now we are sitting at 0%, okay? We are using nothing. And it's 80 watts idle, okay? Now watch, I'm going to put stress on every single core that this machine got, okay? Okay, I'm gonna run it for 1 minute. And you see the power consumption, it goes up to 97. And I hope you also hear the fans, but it's not ramping up. You see, it's just like the before, like 97 now, 97 still. So it means we are not using any of the Ethernet ports. Just keep that in mind, that's important. I'm just using one 10 gigabit, one for management, and a USB disk, so almost nothing. And I'm not using any of these disks, which I'm gonna come back to it. And you have here 97 watts, okay? So that test is running. I just wanted to show you guys you can run containers like that in this bad boy. And this is going to be your gateway that can, you know, handle such a huge amount of traffic. I don't think, you know, in home, it's definitely overkill. I don't care, I'm gonna use it in my home, but I'm just telling you, you can run this easily on a business. And this way you can run a container. So let's say you have this, okay, there you go. By the way, you see it's 460 BOGO ops. I know it's inside Docker, but I saw the CPU usage was up at 100%. If you want to rewind the video, you will see CPU consumption was 100%. It's inside the Docker, and we are getting 27,000, okay? Maybe not super impressive, but it's inside the Docker, keep that in mind. And we are getting 460 operations per second, okay? Now, what you can do is you can use this as a router and switch and gateway. You can define your VLANs on this bad boy. You can learn a lot about the router OS and Mikrotik system in your home lab. If you want to play around this bad boy, learn everything about routing, IP configs, VLANs, bridges, interfaces. There are, just look at this, man. There are so many things over here for IP tunneling, for GRE tunnel, VLANs, you know, the bonding bridges, everything. Bridges over here, IP firewall, you can go here and play around with the firewall rules. NAT is here that we just added for the Docker. You see, these, if you want to play around and learn Mikrotik environment and set up it very fast for your home lab, or switch for your home lab, that's definitely, you see 80 watts. I know for a fact none of my switches is this low, and this is super, super powerful, okay? So that's, I think, why it's green. So it's a very low power consuming device. And commands, it's really intuitive. You know, it's not really hard. And you saw the commands that I was copy pasting. You see, you just go, it's like kind of folders thing. You just go /container, you type print, it prints out PR, it prints out the settings. You run export, it shows you the config. You set environment variables, pull the Docker images. It's so fancy. I understand there's a little bit learning curve if you haven't used Mikrotik before, but believe me, you will learn very quickly. They have a lot of videos on YouTube. I saw their channel, and they have a lot of documentation on their website, and they have a very active forum. I respect that. These guys are killing it, and they have this, ARM CPU, even more respect. I just ran that, and I showed you. So what you can do is you can run this as a switch and run Pi-hole and NTOP NG and many other Docker images for their network performance monitoring and the firewall and filtering. And you can packet capture with the Mikrotik itself. So many fancy things. This is, you buy it once, use it forever. As I told you, 22 years. They are saying it shouldn't fail for 22 years. So it's awesome. I am impressed. And another thing I want to do, I know it's janky. I know it's not the way to do, but I just want to do it. What you're gonna do? You're gonna call the cops, but yeah, I'm gonna do it. What I'm gonna do is I got one of these adapters, basically, which is this. Okay, what it does is it actually, literally, what it says right there, U2 to M.2 NVMe enclosure. So I just want to show you that if you open this up. Okay, as you can see, you will have this slot where you can install your NVMe SSD. For this bad boy, I am going to grab a Samsung 990 Pro 4 terabyte, okay? I just want to show you what you can do with this. Imagine this is 4 terabyte, you can populate it 20 times. So you can get a lot of storage out of this just if you use the 4 terabyte one, but there are proper U.2 drives. You don't have to do M.2, convert it into the U.2. But yeah, I'm just doing this so I can show you guys that you can also do this as well. You don't necessarily need a U.2 disk if you don't have one. So yeah, okay, there you go. So you're gonna put this back. That's it, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take out the first one, okay? There you go. Okay, and what we are going to do is, this is the back, so okay, there you have it. All right, so it's snug and fit. I didn't even put the screws in because this is already locking, but it's just temporary. Now watch what happens. Okay, 1, 2. Okay, light came on immediately. Now let's go here. If we go to the system and disks, there you go. There is my 4 terabyte disk. Now look what you can do with this 4 terabyte NVMe SSD. You can, first of all, give it a name, and you can say it's going to be an encrypted storage, it's going to be a file, it's going to be hardware, iSCSI, NFS, NVMe TCP. You know, there are a lot of Dell servers, commercial servers that use NVMe over TCP. You can use this as a storage, put all your disks in here, share it with the other servers. Partition, RAID, you can do RAID in here. RAM disk, Samba share, you can set up Samba share. They have, Mikrotik have all sorts of guides, how to Samba share and create RAID, all that stuff. Okay, I'm not gonna go over it. I just wanted to show you that everything is working perfectly. What I can do is I can format this as ext4 and basically mount this to my containers, one of my containers. Let's say I'm running a container that uses a lot of storage. I don't know, something. Let's say Kibana or something you want to run on this. You can install and push this as a storage to your Docker image, okay? And still the container, the power consumption is 82 watts. I just wanted to show you the power and what you can do with this. And I ran a Docker and disk and USB, you saw it. Right now the Docker is running off my USB disk, by the way, in case you're wondering. So the intuitive, it's very intuitive UI, and you can use the Winbox application with the console, or you can use their web app to do all the stuff. But if you want to see that, you can. If you don't like the desktop application, if you go here over the terminal, you have the exact same terminal as the desktop app. So okay, if you go there you have it. So if you go to container, if you do PR, you will see your container, and if we do shell number 0, right? We learned that. There you go, you got the shell. And if you do, there you go, I'm inside the container. Easy peasy, very fancy. So I already love this thing. So one thing that I wanted to I showed you very quickly what you can do. I showed you the power. Now what I want to do is actually I want to see that ARM CPU and see what is underneath. I can't let that go, so I gotta do that. All right, let me shut this down properly, and then we are going to check that thing inside it. Let me clean up here a bit, and give me a couple of minutes. I will be right back. Actually, right before I go, I just noticed I didn't really walk you guys through the menu. I assumed you guys are familiar with Mikrotik, but what if you're not, right? So I just want to show you that this is the interface. Okay, there is a search, by the way. Let's say you don't know where the NAT is. There you go. Okay, you search for it and IP firewall NAT, boom, it takes you right there. Okay, Wi-Fi, you need an adapter. I don't think it does have one. Yeah, you need an interface, you need a Wi-Fi adapter. Okay, and then if you add, you will have Wi-Fi settings over there. I think this is the same interface they are using in their Wi-Fi access points, but it doesn't matter. Interfaces, as you saw in the beginning, that's how I configured my WAN and how I configured my management port and all that stuff. And containers bridge is right over here. So it's interfaces just like, you know, any firewall, any switch, like pfSense, whatever, you'll see the same things over there. And you can filter it based on the type over on the top, okay? And you will see, let's say, virtual interface. You will see that V8 that we created for the Dockers. There is a built-in WireGuard. You can, 2 clicks, create new WireGuard, initialize a server with a private key. And then once you set up a WireGuard server, you can add peers again with a single click and add the public key, private key. I wish they added generate over here. Auto, okay, there is, okay. That's awesome, yeah. So WireGuard is right there. And then the PPP, basically VPN stuff, meshing stuff, IP, you see there are a lot of things, a lot of tools over here. What you can do is basically set the IP addresses for interfaces over here. I set the DNS over here, firewall NAT is over here, IPsec is over here. There are all sorts of settings that you can do for Samba is over here, SSH is also there, you can enable it, that's everything is right there. And IPv6, MPLS routing, that's also for here setting routing and preventing, you know, loopbacks and all that stuff. That's all in here. You can set things up for IGMP. So you can go system, you will see a bunch of system settings. So let's say you want to shut down, that's here, not there. That's what where I had to find it. So system shutdown is over here. NTP client, NTP server, console you can get, and then there is other settings over here you can set. Queues, I don't think I really know what this is for. I never used it. Let's skip. .1x, it's their proprietary stuff for Mikrotik stuff. Files, you will be able to explore files. Let's say we go to USB 1. This is our container disk. There you go. It's already detected that as a container disk. Okay, and you can cloud backup your disk stuff. And the Radius server is there. Tools. Let's say you want to do a bandwidth test. So they have a desktop application that you can install in your computer, let's say, and you want to see how fast it connects to your computer over there. You will be able to do a test right here with bandwidth test, basically. Okay, so I set up the same application that I was talking about on my computer. So we are going to just test, and let's say both directions, or let's do send. And I'm going to do 50 threads, and let's start. Let's see how it goes. Okay, so UDP is not really doing well. Let's go TCP 60, and let's do both and start. There you go, 9.4. Yeah, that's expected. So 10 gigabit connection on this computer. I believe the other one is 2.5, so that's why you're seeing 2.5-ish. Speeds over here, total average is 2.5. Yeah, actually it's going up. Let me check the bandwidth on the other computer. Well, that one is a 10 gigabit, so that's why you're seeing this. And this is their basically the bandwidth test tool. I just wanted to show you guys that, and I'm running the Windows application on my other workstation with 10 gigabit connection. And yeah, there is flood ping SMS speed test. You have to use a public server for internet speed test again. There's other stuff. Containers that I showed you guys, the containers. Partition, that's the router OS one. That's it's 128. I mentioned that in the beginning. That's the OS. And that's pretty much it, I think. And you can backup config and stuff right here in the partitions right on the right side. Yeah, I wanted to just very quickly walk through this. So do it justice to this beautiful interface. It's a great way of learning a lot of things about networking. So I would highly recommend just playing around with Mikrotik. There are a lot of also jobs for Mikrotik admins. So anyway, let me continue what I was supposed to do. I want to get in there and see this CPU. Give me a couple of minutes. By the way, I am going to reach out and ask, Mikrotik people about this. This thing is not showing up on the Mikrotik admin panel, so I'm just assuming it's for something internal or maybe for Wi-Fi card, I guess. I don't know. It can't be, but it's. I mean, I added 2 NVMe SSDs. I could never get it to show up in the admin panel. I gotta ask Mikrotik, but anyway, it's weekend, so we gotta keep going. Okay, let's remove this heatsink. Wow, this big gigantic heatsink for that CPU. All right, let me give you guys a closer look. Hold on, let me take off the power cables and the Ethernet. Oh, by the way, for SFF port, I have found what I had around. So this bad boy, I assume this is going to work. I don't know, let's see. This one supposedly should, you see that? This SFF, so this should supposedly give you 4 SATA connections. So you have 2 of those, so literally 8 you will be able to do if this works. Let's see. Of course it does. Okay, as you can see, this one worked pretty well, and it's right there. So this goes in here, so you can do 2, and you get 8 SATA ports. Okay, so that being said, this thing is, I tore it, I get it, but I think it's more than enough. But I will probably replace that with a thermal paste, so because it's already ruined as well. So let me remove that. Okay, put that in there. Okay, now let's take a closer look at this bad boy. There you go. It says right over there, as you can see, Annapurna Labs, an Amazon company, and that's ALA73400. That's exactly what I said in the beginning, and that's ARM, and that's the CPU, and it's soldered on, as you can see. So you can't really, you can't take that out. It's soldered on. Beautiful, beautiful. And I think there is the chip for switching and all that stuff in there. So while we are already all the way here, let's take a look at that one as well. I think it's the, oh wow.
On a single graphics card.
Okay, so this one had a thermal paste, which I'm gonna do the same for that one. So anyway, let me grab a all right guys, ready? Let's take a look. Exactly as I said, that's the Marvel CPU chip, and that's the Marvel 98BWY4 TKPF 82.02 2244. And that's actually not relevant. The relevant part is 98DX4310A0. So that's the chip that does all the packet forwarding, IP routing, switching, all that magic happens there. And that's the CPU, the ARM CPU from Amazon. Annapurna Labs. Okay, RDS2216. Beautiful, beautiful, very impressive. And it already comes with, I'm gonna be honest, I mean, I get it, I didn't populate every single disk, but I did 100% CPU usage and I was not even getting 100 watts. 97, I think, was the highest number that I see. And remember, I plugged both of them. So some power switch also used some just to turn on. But anyway, I plugged both of them to the power meter. So that's what you were seeing. Both power, PSUs connected. And that was 97 when I was using every single core in this bad boy. 20 disks, let's just say 2-3 watts. I don't think these things would use any more than that. So yeah, 60-70 watts, let's say all the ports, I don't know, 50, 70, 80, 90, 100 watts and 100 watts, that's gonna be 300 watts. This is 550. So if you guys know why, I think maybe they just wanted to play it safe and have more available rather than cutting it, and going cheap. But I think this is overkill. That's all I think. The fans and everything was already ramping up. When I started it, when I powered on, it was 100% almost on all fans, just making that jet engine sound, and it was not even reaching 90. So yeah, there you have it. You tell me if I missed anything. I showed you guys the interface, I opened it, I removed the heat sinks, I got everything. I showed you the interface and containers, some benchmarks, that and the tools and the Mikrotik interface walkthrough. So hope you guys enjoyed this. I really enjoyed this. Now it's time for me to put a perfect amount of thermal paste, as Steve would say from Tronics Fix, on both of these. I'm gonna wipe this. Although it's very fresh, I can tell it's fresh, it's not dried, but I just opened it, so I'm gonna put a new one on both of these, put everything together, and this will go back into my rack. You like to watch me put this all back together, don't you? All right, so join me as I'm putting the perfect amount of thermal paste.
Perfect amount of thermal paste
into this server, which is a little bit more than perfect amount, but always host your own servers, host your own data. Don't trust cloud. See you in the next video.